Hey guys, my name is Dan, and for the last almost 2 years I have been in the world of freelance digital marketing. Every month I've been putting together a video just like this about the highs, lows and everything in between. Now this month is all about April 2019 because I'm conscious of the fact that the last few videos have been about quite specific areas of digital marketing, and this is kind of just to give you hopefully a bit of an update about what's been going on. Now, on the one hand, everything genuinely from a business perspective has been going super well. Everything from a life perspective is going pretty damn well. In the midst of that though, and unless you have been living under a rock in the UK, there has been the issue of Brexit, which I did cover a couple of months ago. So everything has been cautious, is probably the best way to describe it, in terms of where to go with future direction. One of the things behind the scenes, which I've been wanting to do for quite a while but is now actually happening, is to hopefully move. So this won't be a background, hopefully in the next few months, and I'll be moving up to Exeter, which is the nearest city. With that in mind, obviously with things like that, they can have a huge impact on your job, but obviously from a freelancer's perspective, it's also a case of trying to balance all that with the day-to-day running of your own business. So at the moment, the goal at the moment with that combined with any potential negative fallout from Brexit has been let's keep things as steady as possible. So the goal at the moment is just to keep clients happy. Off the back of that though, one of the things which I've been quite conscious of over the last few months is the whole eggs in baskets scenario. A couple of clients who are great clients have turned around and said, oh Dan, can you take on some extra hours for us? Because either they've won new clients in turn that they can refer on to me, or that just generally they're really happy with the work and need additional hours. And I'll be honest with you, although that is an absolutely fantastic position to be in, I have turned around and I have said no. The reason being is that something I've seen from other people is that the number of hours that you can take on with any one given person can potentially run quite a big risk, and it depends on who the person is and it depends on the number of hours that they can offer you. Because what can happen is that if you subsequently take on too many hours with someone and for whatever reason that falls apart, then that can be a massive gaping hole in your income, in your cash flow, and just generally in your business. So to give you an example, I have a friend of mine who is also another freelance digital marketer, and for the last 3 or 4 years he's just worked exclusively with 4 clients. About 6 months ago, one of those clients decided that was it. That was the end of their relationship for a number of internal business reasons. Now, subsequently, if you're only working with 4 clients, every one of those clients represents 25% of your income thereabouts. And suddenly, pretty much overnight, you have lost 25% of your income. Now, that creates a massive sort of freak out mode. You're going, where the hell am I going to get 25% of my income back? Therefore, it's quite a risky business to only have a few clients. On the other hand, you could have a huge number of different clients, which obviously limits the element of risk in that if any one of them drops, you've only got a very small drop in income, but also that presents its own challenges in just the sheer number of people that you have to deal with. So I've been conscious of this from, as I said, my friend, conscious of this just from working in an agency, because this happens on an agency level as well, not just on a sort of independent freelance level. So to essentially mitigate against this risk, what I've started to do is essentially spread my bets, as it were. So that at the moment I have around 10 clients. Sometimes I have more, sometimes I have a little bit less, sometimes it's just extra projects on top, but by and large it's about 10 clients. With that, each client represents, again, give or take, about 10% of my income. Now, 10% of my income is what I feel comfortable with. If one of them was to go, then it's not the end of the world, because A, it's fairly easy to pick up another client to fill that gap of 10%, and the fact that from a cash flow perspective, especially when it comes to moving, is that if they were to leave for whatever reason, that a 10% dip in my income is, again, not the end of the world. That is a level of risk which I feel comfortable with. Certain people out there may feel that that's a really risky move, others might be totally comfortable with it. If you can hypothetically work with one client that is super solid, you're locked into a contract, and you know that is 100% of your income, then great, if that's what you feel comfortable with. But at the moment, sort of reflecting on it, and again trying to implement this plan, is that anything more than 10% feels like a potentially risky situation. So I've had this at the back of my mind for a few months, and as I say, in terms of preparation for any sort of economic fallout which may happen, it's just a case of, right, I've had that in the back of my mind, so that as I say, these instances that have come along where I go, dang, you know, we've got some more hours for you if you really like to take them on, it feels uncomfortable in saying no, but I feel that in saying no, that is putting in good structures for the future and the future security of my business as things go along. It's one of those things though which people don't tend to think about, in that suddenly if work lands, particularly from a client that you're already working with, the natural inclination is just to say, yeah, give it to me, because obviously it's just an extension number of hours. You're not having to take on an additional client. You know the client, you know the ins and outs of the industry, so it is easy work. But I would recommend that you do think twice if you are offered these situations as to realistically, if that client was to disappear overnight, what would the negative fallout of that be on your business and your income. It's just a case of thinking ahead and almost second guessing yourself as to what the future may hold. As always, I've had some really nice comments and questions come in over the last couple of months, so as always, if you guys have got any questions whatsoever about what freelancing is like, about what digital marketing life is like, or somewhere in between, then feel free to stick a comment in the box below and I will get back to you. Or if you want to send me a private message because it's longer or more complicated than what YouTube comment can have, then I'll stick my social profiles in the box below as well, and you can reach me on there. So thanks ever so much for watching. If you want to carry on seeing about what is happening in the world of freelance digital marketing, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back next time with another video about a different aspect of digital marketing life. So until then, thanks very much, and I will catch you next time.